So today I have some fantastic news to share with you all. Apparently I am scheduled to receive my Covid-19 vaccination because of my family genetics and medical history. Indeed, the NHS have sent me a completely unsolicited email to an address that they would have no way of knowing about, and it has slightly strange wording. Now, in case you haven't figured it out already, this entire email is absolute rubbish, which is designed to take advantage of people who perhaps aren't super savvy with this kind of thing, and it's completely disgusting. So in today's video we're going to kind of take a look at, how this works and what actually happens if you follow along with one of these emails. Now, obviously it goes without saying the NHS will never contact you through an unsolicited email, and no other important body like that will contact you like this either. If you get an email that's claiming to be the NHS or anyone else, delete it, ignore it, don't do what I'm about to do. Now, of course, you can tell that if you look closer at this email, it's a load of rubbish. But to be honest, upon first inspection, it actually does look legitimate. So as you can see, it's from NHS UK, looks legit so far. We can see that they've got a vaccination number, an order ID, all that sort of thing, looks very professional. And you can see in the contents of the actual email, they're performing selections on the basis of family genetics and medical history. Now, without giving away too much personal information online, what I can say is I would not actually be surprised if I would be considered for a COVID-19 vaccine. But of course, this is a load of nonsense, and considering the fact that most people are going to be kind of, more vulnerable if they're being considered for a vaccination, that makes this email all the more disgusting. Now, if we keep going, we can see two links, but we will get onto those later, and you can only use the service if you receive an email or SMS regarding this invitation. So what I take from this is maybe they're also sending scam text messages as well, so watch out for that. You also feel free to reject this invitation, don't you worry, I will. Your appointment will be issued to the next person in line in that case. I'm sure it will be. Now, as I said earlier, this email does look legit on first glance, but if you take a closer look, there's several telltale signs which give away that this is fake. So the first thing is the email address that this is actually sent from. As you can see, this is very obviously not an NHS email address. It's sent from a Hotmail domain. Now, how exactly they've got a Hotmail domain, I don't know. I wasn't actually aware that those were still being given out, let alone to scammers. But this is very clearly not an NHS email. And if we keep going, we can see that, of course, the NHS don't send out unsolicited emails like this. Now, I would actually like to show you this email with all the pictures and whatever, but I'm not actually going to put my computer at risk like that. So instead, what we're going to do in a little moment is check out these links and see where they actually take us. Now, if we hover over these links, we can actually see what website they're going to take us to. Now, this is very, very clearly not the NHS website. And actually, both the accept invitation and decline invitation buttons both take us to the same website, so I actually highly doubt that it matters which of these you press. Now, of course, what I'm going to have to say is, this kind of maybe to some people is a little bit obvious, but it does need to be said. If you get an unsolicited email, absolutely do not, under any circumstances, go to any website that it is taking you to, even just to check it out or whatever. But with that said, we're going to do exactly what I've told you not to do, and we're going to go ahead and go and look at these websites. But as you can imagine, I'm not going to put my computer at risk to do this, so what we're going to go ahead and do is move over to a virtual machine and take a look at where these websites would take you. And indeed, as I said earlier, we are now in a virtual machine. Now, I'm sure that there are probably going to be a lot of less tech-savvy people watching this video, and for those of you who don't know, a virtual machine is effectively a containerized computer that runs on your main computer, putting it in the simplest possible terms. So effectively what that means is that we're pretty much running a containerized operating system, so anything that we do here won't affect the rest of my computer. So what we're going to go ahead and do is navigate over to the website which I received in the scam email. Now, we're actually using Windows XP for this sort of test, and the reason for that is twofold. The first thing is Windows XP is horribly out of date and filled with security holes, so if there is any malware sitting on that website, we're going to know about it. And the other reason is I only had a Windows XP ISO lying around and I couldn't be bothered to download Windows 10 or anything like that. So what we're going to go ahead and do is navigate over to that website and see what's on it. Now I actually haven't looked at this yet, so I don't know what to expect, but let's go ahead and have a look. So in my history we've got the website in question, and as you can see the URL actually changed from when we clicked on it. So if we go back into the history, we can see that, and then it's changed. So first things first, very obviously an AHS website is not going to do that. And if we look at what web domain we're on now, this is all kind of, well, it's basically like someone mashed a keyboard and that's the resulting web domain. So it goes without saying that no NHS website is going to use anything like that. In fact, let's actually go over to the NHS website right now, and so you can just kind of see the difference. So NHS website, as you can see, the NHS uses www.nhs.uk. As you can see, that is not that. And actually, I've got to say, for a scam website, this is actually pretty clever because they're actually using HTTPS, which a lot of people have kind of misguidedly said that if a website uses HTTPS, it might be legit. That's not true. All that means is that your connection to this website is encrypted, but it does not mean the website itself is at all legitimate. So before we go ahead and accept their invitation, let's just kind of have a poke around on this site. So as you can see, it does look very legitimate. If we compare the two, well, they look virtually identical. But here's where things start to fall apart a little bit. So let's try clicking on Health A to Z. As you can see, it just takes us right back to the main page. Well, what about Live Well? Nope, same thing, doesn't work. Care and Support? Nope. Pregnancy? Nope. NHS Services? Nope. So let's go ahead and try searching something. I don't know, what am I suffering from? That seems like a perfectly legitimate medical condition. So let's go ahead and hit enter and see what happens. And as you can see, that has just completely taken us to a different page. And that is certainly not what I searched, so I'm not sure what that's about. So let's just go ahead and close out of that, and let's see if we can reject or accept the invitation. But before we do that, let's just have a little read of the page. The NHS is performing selections for coronavirus vaccination. On the basis of family genetics and medical history, you have been selected to receive a coronavirus vaccination. Use this service to confirm your coronavirus COVID-19 vaccination. You will need to have 2 doses of the coronavirus vaccination at 2 appointments. Book both appointments at the same time. Get the second dose 11 to 12 weeks after getting your first dose. As far as I can tell, that is actually how the coronavirus vaccine is administered. Very clever, scammers. You actually did your research. Who can use this service? You can only use this service if you received an email/SMS regarding this invitation. You cannot use this service for anyone other than yourself. That is a shame. I was looking forward to forwarding this scam email to everyone in my contacts list. You are also free to reject this invitation. Don't you worry, I will. Your appointment will be issued to the next person in line in that case. I hope they enjoy the same spam that I'm messing with right now. Please confirm or reject your invitation by selecting an option below. Well, we obviously want to accept this invitation, and apparently you are required to reply to this invitation within 24 hours of this notification. That's a shame. That email, I believe, was sent 8 hours ago. Maybe I should have left it the full 24 to see if it would still do this. So let's just go ahead and accept the invitation, and let us select a preferred date. Well, why not? Let's have the 4th of February. Select your vaccinate. Oh, hello. There we go. It took a second. Complete your application. Please complete the following form using your information to submit a reply. It would help us to verify your information and confirm your selection. I am sure it will. So let's just go ahead and put in some totally legitimate names here. So as you can see, that is my name. What's my address? You know what? I'm probably going to have to look up some kind of fake address here. Please enter a valid postcode. I don't know. Let's see. What's a valid postcode? I cannot generate one off the top of my head, but it seemed to accept that. Please enter a valid mobile number. Fair enough. That's a totally valid mobile number, right? And let's enter in our date of birth. Let's see. 12/12/12/12. There you go. And that. Oh, hello. They require a payment. Gee, how very much like the NHS. Of course, the NHS, the one government body known for making people pay for things. So go on, let's put in a cardholder name. That's a card holder name, surely. And go on, let's just put in a card number. And what's our expiry date? And then let's give them the number on the back of our card. That seems legit, right? No? Really? Okay. Well, how many numbers does it expect it to be? 16. So let's put in a 16-digit number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's a totally legitimate card number, surely. No? Really? Okay. Well, let's see if we can get an example card number. And there we go. We've managed to put in our example card number, so it seems to be sending us to a payment page. So protecting you from fraud. How ironic. Enter the information requested below. As you can see, this is all totally legitimate, of course. MasterCard verified by Visa. I am sure it is. And as you can see, we've got all of our stuff back up here again. So let's see if it actually works here. And it just takes us back to the main page. That kind of figures. So let's go ahead and enter in an account number. What is it expecting? So 8. Let's put in an 8-digit number. Seems legit to me. So for our sort code, it is expecting 6 numbers. And let's submit that. And there we go. Confirmation. Please follow the coronavirus safety practices. Oh, here we go. And rather cheekily, they've actually sent us back to the official NHS page after supposedly confirming our test. Now, I don't actually see why they couldn't have just linked to the official NHS website here, but I guess scammers are lazy and couldn't even be bothered to do that, right? So let's say that we want to reject our invitation. What happens then? Let's have a look. No, it's not letting us reject our invitation here. We will have that coronavirus vaccination whether we like it or not. So there we go. That's a coronavirus scam email. So I kind of hope that in watching this, you now know what to look out for and will hopefully just ignore any of these emails. But with that said, I think that's just about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching me mess with this scam email, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.